Good morning, class 11. Let's continue with our chapter Economics and Economy, where already you all have studied that economics has been divided into two parts, that is microeconomics and macroeconomics. Now, in the previous video, I've explained you microeconomics. So, today in this session, you will be learning about macroeconomics. Well, children, you already know that macro means something which is large, something which is huge. So in economics, large actually means that macroeconomics deals with economic issues related to the economy as a whole, means it deals with those issues which have been related to a country, not to an individual. So under macroeconomics, you will be learning about equilibrium in the economy. That means that how an equilibrium is struck between the total demand and the total supply. When I say total demand, means demand for all goods and services in the economy. And when I say total supply or aggregate supply, means supply of all the goods and services in the economy. So, here you are going to study that how a equilibrium is struck between the total demand and total supply. Then the next thing which you learn under macroeconomics is disequilibrium in the economy. Now, when I say disequilibrium means when your total demand or aggregate demand, that is AD, and total supply or aggregate supply, that is AS, are not in the state of balance. It generally happens when the resources are not fully or efficiently utilized. So in that condition, we say that AD is not equals to AS, that is total demand is not equals to total supply. And the last thing which you will be studying is correction of disequilibrium, means how a disequilibrium can be corrected and can be brought into a state of balance, where you can say that there is a balance between the aggregate demand, that is total demand, and aggregate supply, that is total supply, where you can say that resources are fully and efficiently utilized. So children, the economists have very well formulated these theories to study the various issues of macroeconomics. The theory of income and employment has been formulated so as to study about the equilibrium in the economy. Then apart from this, the theory of disequilibrium to study about the disequilibrium in the economy, where you will be learning about the inflationary and deflationary gap, and also how to correct this problem. So children, this brings us to the vital components of macroeconomics. And when we say the vital components, means the different components of macroeconomics, which are theory related to equilibrium in the economy, second theory related to disequilibrium in the economy, and third theory related to the correction of disequilibrium in the economy. And if I talk about the first one, that is theory related to equilibrium in the economy, means which is a theory of income and employment. Now here you study how equilibrium is struck, means reached, when AS equals to AD, means your total supply equals to total demand in the economy. So we say equilibrium is struck in the economy. Whatever is produced, the whole thing is been supplied, means the demand is been generated and the total production is been supplied. We say AS equals to AD. So equilibrium struck, and this is called the theory of income and employment. Then comes the theory related to disequilibrium in the economy. Now children, when we say disequilibrium, means when your AS is not equals to AD, and your AS is not equals to AD, it happens only in the condition when there is an inflationary or deflationary gap. In that situation, either AD will be less than AS, means total demand will be less than total supply, or AD will be more than AS, means your total demand will be more than total supply. So children, when this happens in the economy, so in that condition we say that the economy is in disequilibrium. The reason, because here the AD is not equals to AS, means your total demand is not equals to total supply, so there is a disequilibrium, which generally happens because of inflationary or deflationary gap. Inflation means when the prices rises more, and deflation means when the prices lowers down more than it is been expected. Then in such condition disequilibrium exists. Then the third theory under macroeconomics is theory related to the correction of disequilibrium in the economy. Now this disequilibrium has to be corrected which exists in the economy, and to correct this disequilibrium, the policies which have been framed are the monetary policy, the fiscal policy, and the exchange rate policy. Now when we talk about monetary policy, means the policy which focus on the supply of money and the credit creation by the commercial bank. Means under monetary policy basically is a policy where the banks, they try to correct this disequilibrium by maintaining their credit creation by the commercial banks. Later on, in the later stages, in the later chapters, I will be explaining you, and you will be learning that how the bank creates the credit. Credit means the loan which bank gives. So if there is inflation or deflation, so the bank accordingly maintains the this loan giving this procedure of giving loan, how to control it. That is called monetary policy. Then we have a fiscal policy which focus on the government budget. That is the impact on the budgetary deficit in the economy. Means that if there is inflation or deflation in the economy, then government tries to control the disequilibrium by implementing the fiscal policy. Fiscal policy means the budgetary policy of the government. That how through the budgetary policy they try to control the inflation or deflation in the economy to correct this disequilibrium. And the last is exchange rate policy, which focus on the management of exchange rate to correct the disequilibrium and to bring the balance of payment. Means when we talk about exchange rate, we mean to say the exchange rate policy is a policy where our currency is been exchanged with the foreign currency. So the rate at which it has been exchanged, that rate is been controlled so as to bring the equilibrium within the economy. So these are certain instruments which have been used by the government to correct the disequilibrium in the economy. Now children, let's do the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. By now you have learnt about microeconomics also and macroeconomics also. So if we have to distinguish between two, so it goes like this. Microeconomics, you know very well, it deals with the economic issues which are related on a smaller units, means which are related to the economic units on a lower level or on a small level, like when you are dealing with an individual firm or an individual household, right? Whereas macroeconomics, it deals with all the economic issues which are on the wider scale, means it relates with the issues which are actually related with the level of economy of a country as a whole. So it is dealing with all the things. Now the next is microeconomics is basically concerned with the theory of price. The theory of price, why we said the theory of price? The reason is because that the market demand and supply actually depends upon the market price. So macroeconomics, under microeconomics, the main concern is of the determination of price in the market, and that is why we are more concerned of microeconomics with the theory of price. If we talk about macroeconomics is concerned, children, with the aggregate output and the general price level in the economy as a whole, and that is why here the most important thing is to learn about the theory of income and employment. Then in the microeconomics, the study of microeconomics assumes that the macro variables remain constant. Here we assume that the general price remain constant and then we study about the determination of price in the individual market. Whereas when we talk about macroeconomics assume that micro variables remain constant. So under this, it is assumed that the distribution of GDP remains constant when we are studying about the level of GDP in the economy, means how much it has been earned. So it's what GDP is. And the last microeconomics components, the vital components of microeconomics are theory of consumer behavior, then theory of producer behavior, and the most important, theory of price. Whereas the important vital components of macroeconomics are theory related to equilibrium in the economy, then theory related to disequilibrium in the economy, and then theory related to correction of disequilibrium in the economy. So children, this is the basic difference between the microeconomics and macroeconomics.